Hey guys, what's up? MiataMods here. So today I'm going to install my headrest speakers. As you may know, you can install headrest speakers right here. So there's a zipper on this side, and then you can open the headrest. And usually there are some old speakers here, but my car doesn't have any speakers. Normally you put some oval speakers here, but I got round ones. They're just more widely available. So I got the Pioneer TS875. Yeah, so after doing some research I found out it would be better to use 8 ohm speakers instead of 4 ohm speakers, especially if you want to use the existing wire harness. Don't worry, I will explain this in my next video, and I will put a link of this video in the description. Now, back to mounting the speakers. And I think they will be fitting just nicely in my headrest if I cut some foam out. And there are a couple of ways to mount a speaker. You see some guys just wedging it in between the foam. Some other guys just mount them on the plastic plate. I think I'm going to do that. Just put the speaker right here and then mounting it on the plastic plate. And if I do that, the sound won't go through, so I have to cut a hole in this. So I'll start with that. Alright, so now I have to cut out the holes. There's a couple ways to do that. You can use a drill and just drill a lot of holes and then cut it out. But obviously that takes a lot of time. The plastic is too thick, you can't cut the plastic. You can use a large, I don't know what's called, a drill or hole saw, but I don't have that. What I do have is a Dremel or a Dremel, and I'm just going to use this to cut out the holes. Alright, so the plastic is cut out, and now you'll just need a sharp knife just to cut the foam out that's sitting here. So we're going to do that. As a final touch, I'm going to use this drill bit just to make the edges a little bit better of the plastic, and then I can fit the speakers. Alright, the edges of the plastic cleared up nice. And now we can just mount the speakers. And as you can see, it will fit nicely into the hole. One thing I noticed, that if I want to screw the speakers to the plastic, the screw will go through the plastic and your head will be here. So I don't want anybody getting a screw into their head, so I'm not going to use the screws, but I'm just going to use some hot glue to glue them together. Well, not the speakers together, but glue the speakers to the plastic, and because they're pushed into the foam in the headrest, they will stay in place, I guess. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys. Speakers are glued in. I just used some glue around the edges. I don't know if you can see it. It's not an airtight fit, but it doesn't matter for sound quality. So you just need to stay in place. And I think they will with this solution. So now the final thing to do is make some cuts in the headrest. So let's do that. Right, this is a test fit of the speakers, and as you can see it will fit on this side, but I have to cut a little bit of foam right here and there, so the speakers will fit in the headrest. So let's do that. You have to be careful when you're cutting the foam, because here you can feel the metal frame of the seat, and you don't want the metal frame touching the magnet of the speaker, so just leave a little bit of foam left. Alright, the speakers are in. Now I only have to test if they fit, and as you can see they fit just nicely. So the driver's seat is done. Now I have to do the passenger seat. Just a little tip: if they don't fit, just take out a little bit more foam over here, but don't take too much out at once. Just try a little bit and then try to fit it again, because if you take too much out you can deform this part of the seat, so be careful with that. If your Miata came with headrest speakers from the factory and you just installed new 8 ohm impedance speakers, you can connect the new speakers with the existing wire harness. If you installed 4 ohm impedance speakers like me, check out my next video about using 4 ohm or 8 ohm headrest speakers and how to connect them. You can find the link to the video in the description. My Miata doesn't have any wiring going to the seats, so I have to route some cables from my head unit to my speakers. I will be covering this in a future video, so be sure to check that out too. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.